In a significant geopolitical development, a Russian military convoy was recently denied entry to Syria's Tartus Naval Base by the country's transitional government. This incident marks a rare instance of Syria's interim authorities asserting their sovereignty and challenging Russia's long-standing military presence in the region. The Tartus Naval Base, a strategic asset for Russia in the Mediterranean, has been a cornerstone of its military operations in Syria and the broader Middle East. The denial of entry to the convoy underscores the shifting dynamics in Syria's political landscape and raises questions about the future of Russian influence in the region. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications to stay updated. You can also like this video and share your views. Background: Russia's presence in Tartus. The Tartus Naval Base has been a critical outpost for Russia since the Soviet era. It is Russia's only military base in the Mediterranean and serves as a key logistical hub for its operations in Syria and beyond. The base allows Russia to project power in the region, support the Syrian government, and maintain a strategic foothold in the Middle East. In 2017, Russia and Syria signed a 49-year agreement that formalized Russia's presence at Tartus, granting Moscow extensive rights to expand and modernize the facility. Russia's military involvement in Syria has been pivotal in bolstering the regime of President Bashar al-Assad during the country's decade-long civil war. Russian airstrikes, ground support, and diplomatic backing have been instrumental in turning the tide in Assad's favor. However, as the conflict has evolved, so too have the political dynamics within Syria, with the transitional government increasingly seeking to assert its independence. The incident: denial of entry. The recent incident involved a Russian military convoy attempting to enter the Tartus Naval Base. The convoy, reportedly carrying supplies and equipment, was stopped at a checkpoint controlled by forces loyal to Syria's transitional government. Despite Russia's long-standing presence at Tartus, the transitional government refused to grant the convoy access, citing administrative and logistical issues. While the exact reasons for the denial remain unclear, analysts suggest it may be a deliberate move by the transitional government to assert its authority and negotiate a more balanced relationship with Moscow. This incident is particularly striking given the close ties between Russia and the Assad regime. The transitional government, which emerged from a fragile political process aimed at ending the civil war, appears to be testing the limits of its autonomy. By denying entry to the Russian convoy, the government is sending a clear message that it will not simply rubber stamp Moscow's demands. Implications for Russian-Syrian relations. The denial of entry to the Russian convoy has significant implications for the relationship between Moscow and Damascus. While Russia has been a staunch ally of the Assad regime, the transitional government's actions suggest a willingness to recalibrate this relationship. This could lead to tensions between the two sides, particularly if Russia perceives the transitional government as undermining its strategic interests in the region. For Russia, the Tartus Naval Base is a vital asset that enables it to maintain a military presence in the Mediterranean and project power across the Middle East. Any disruption to its operations at Tartus could have far-reaching consequences for its regional strategy. Moscow is likely to view the transitional government's actions as a challenge to its influence and may respond by increasing pressure on Damascus to fall in line. On a broader geopolitical context, the incident also reflects the broader geopolitical shifts taking place in Syria and the Middle East. As the civil war winds down, the focus has shifted from military operations to political negotiations and reconstruction efforts. The transitional government, which includes representatives from various factions, is seeking to consolidate its authority and establish itself as a legitimate governing body. In doing so, it is attempting to balance the competing interests of external powers, including Russia, Iran, Turkey, and the United States. The denial of entry to the Russian convoy may also be seen as a signal to other international actors. By asserting its sovereignty, the transitional government is demonstrating its willingness to chart an independent course, free from the dominance of any single foreign power. This could open the door for greater engagement with other countries, including those in the West, as Syria seeks to rebuild and reintegrate into the international community. Russia's next steps. Russia is unlikely to take this challenge lightly. Moscow has invested heavily in Syria, both militarily and politically, and will not easily relinquish its influence. Possible responses could include diplomatic pressure on the transitional government, increased military presence in the region, or even direct negotiations to secure its interests at Tartus. However, Russia must also tread carefully, as overly aggressive actions could alienate the transitional government and push it closer to other international partners. Conclusion. The denial of entry to the Russian convoy at Syria's Tartus Naval Base is a significant development that highlights the evolving dynamics in the region. It underscores the transitional government's efforts to assert its sovereignty and recalibrate its relationship with Moscow. For Russia, the incident serves as a reminder that its influence in Syria is not absolute and must be carefully managed in the face of shifting political realities. As Syria continues its transition from war to peace, The balance of power between Damascus and its international allies will remain a key factor in shaping the country's future. This incident also raises broader questions about the future of foreign military presence in Syria and the extent to which the transitional government can assert its independence. As the situation unfolds, it will be crucial to monitor how Russia and other international actors respond to these challenges and what it means for the stability and sovereignty of Syria.